Wars fans.
The Lightsaber Dojo, 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 the Lightsaber Dojo.
You're at the Lightsaber Dojo. Welcome to the Lightsaber Dojo.
Darth MAUL here. Want to give a shout out to our #1 fan. Talked to him today. Says he watches every episode and said wanted to know when our new episode was dropping. Ernest Ricky, this one's for you. Shout outs to our fans.
Grandmaster Jedi George coming at you from the Lightsaber Dojo. Welcome to our podcast. A lot of us has been bothered by the storytelling and the story writing of Star Wars. It's gotten too colluded. What is the worst plot holes or the worst writing in Star Wars that you think? What is the worst storyline that's totally broken? Luke Skywalker blows up a Death Star with a couple of missiles that goes down a tunnel into the core of the Death Star, explodes it.
All clear, kid. Now let's blow this thing and go home.
Or at the Return of the Jedi, the Death Star is back. Now, obviously, it's not completed. Understandable. That's understandable. But to not protect the core so much that they flew ships all the way into the core. They didn't think to maybe put up a wall around this thing to prevent people from being able to hit it with a missile. I mean, like, that was, to me, it's like, how could they let that happen? What is the worst storyline in Star Wars today?
Another Death Star must have just blew up.
Pizza the Hut here. The existence of Jar Jar Binks out.
And yet, another Death Star has just blown up.
In Star Wars The Phantom Menace, Star Wars #1, they use light speed, like they run as quick as the Flash or Superman or somebody, and we've never seen it again. That drives me nuts. All the rest has to go straight to The Last Jedi. When they went to the gambling planet, they found somebody who I've never even heard of before. The gambler should have been Lando Calrissian. Lando's a gambler. He won the Millennium Falcon. We know it. Luke seen the good in Vader. And Vader killed younglings. He had a bad dream about Kylo and was ready to cut Kylo's head off. Those 3 plot holes drive me nuts.
Force Awakens, Star Killer Base has got a similar setup. I know it's a little harder to get into, but once you get into and blow that core up, the whole planet goes down.
And here goes Star Killer Base. Yep. Star Killer Base is no more.
Be able to be disabled by one section or one thing being blown up.
One of my plot holes with the original trilogy was Imperial stormtroopers are supposed to be precise enough to kill the Jawas, but they're not. Later on in the same episode, they can't hit the broadside of a barn. That's one of my loopholes.
Sidious's whole plan to be struck down twice. That was so crazy. I didn't like that at all. Another plot hole that Rian Johnson made was the Holdo maneuver, and then they tried to lock it up with in the next movie, saying that was a once-in-a-lifetime type move. They made a whole movie, Rogue One, to explain the pothole Jedi Master George was talking about, but there are a few potholes, but they do try to retcon them.
Oh yeah, but the retcon only made it allowed for what happened in A New Hope. It doesn't account for them leaving a big hole wide enough for ships to fly in Return of the Jedi.
It would have been nice to see an army of Siths come out, and I could be wrong, I stand to be corrected. I would have liked to seen Darth Maul and Vader at the same time on the screen. And then the other thing that gets me is Mace. Who stole whose name? Mace that sang Mo Money, or did Mace Windu steal his name? Food for thought. You know, it's deep.
Who in the world was the old man who had plans to where Luke Skywalker was? He wasn't nobody. He didn't know her when she was a princess or a general. Who in the world he was? A $10 actor.
And now, a word from our sponsor.
You know, I hear a lot of stories about someone being the best friendly guitar player going. And the funny thing is whenever I get there, they're not what they're all cracked up to be, or they're suddenly out of town. Well, this is the Jazzy Challenge. I want to know who the best friendly guitar player going is. And I'm bringing my camcorder, because you know a lot of people can be the best when no one's looking. But I'm bringing the camera, because the camera doesn't lie.
In fact, let me change it up. What was the scene, what was the thing that made you a Star Wars fan?
Rebels.
The Empire Strikes Back, when like they were just floating in space and you're wondering, all right, what are they going to do next? What are they going to do next? And then the movie ends.
Count BRYER. Here. Similar to what you just said, Jedi Master George. Similar to what you said. The end of Empire when Han Solo was frozen. That's it.
I love the prequels, but the prequels look way more futuristic than the originals, and that was supposed to take place in the past. Little plot hole.
But is it a plot hole? You're looking at the galaxy in the original trilogy 20 years after war has ravaged it.
It's out here tonight, looking for Red Leader. Where you at, Red Leader? You ain't on the Lightsaber Dojo tonight. You flying over? I don't see you anywhere. Where's your dedication to the page, Red Leader? Come on now.
Or that some of the guys are watching Batman instead of being on the page. Hey. Some guys say they're Star Wars fans, other guys show they're Star Wars fans.
Supreme Chancellor, I gave away my tickets as an act of charity.
But because tonight is the opening of Batman, I have to ask, is Batman really a superhero?
To answer your question, most definitely, he is not a superhero.
Yeah, he's more like a good guy Lex Luthor.
He even goes as far to admit it. In the Justice League film, the Flash asked him what his superpower was. Does he say super strength, speed, or anything like that? No, he says, I'm rich. So I just don't think that qualifies as a superhero.
But I'm not Tom Brady's biggest fan. But I think Tom Brady is closer to a superhero than Batman is.
And I agree. I mean, Lando could have been Batman. Lando had some money. And he could have been Batman. Anybody with a few bucks. Hey, the guy that just won the Powerball, he could be Batman. Not everybody can be Luke Skywalker. Just saying.
We've been outwitted, Robin.
It's not fair.
Well, I guess that will conclude our show for this evening. I would like to thank our sponsor, the Jazzy Challenge, and I hope everyone has a wonderful evening. May the Force be with you.
You're at the Lightsaber Dojo. The Lightsaber Dojo. We got a lot of mojo. We talk about Chewbacca. We talk about Han Solo at the Lightsaber Dojo. This is a Lightsaber Dojo.
Impressive.